What is going on, everybody? I'm your average gamer, and today we have one of the best builds that I was able to come up with in terms of creativity, fun, and just it being very, very good. So I hope you guys stick around for that. Also, towards the end of this video, I have a bonus build just in case nobody's really interested in using this one. The one at the end is suitable for everybody. You don't really have to have a setup. You don't really have to know what you're doing. You can just go in there and just mess things up. So stick around for all of that. But first things first, I want to bring up why I kind of make these builds or the way that I make the build. So I like God of War. I like playing God of War. I like the mechanics to it. I like the fighting. You know, I like how flashy and smooth all of it is. And so it makes it pretty easy to sit here and play the game. But if you put as much time as I have into these types of games, it can get pretty dried out really quickly. One thing that I do to try to counter that is to come up with as many different builds as possible. Now, I'm not talking about in the terms of strength and runic and defense, even though all these stats are in the game. I don't really look at it that way. You know, I look at what the game gives me. I try to combine everything that I like to use and use it that way. For example, I love the rage in this build. I love that there's 3 different rages. I like that there's different armor sets to that. So I wanted to try to make a rage build, which is exactly what I'm doing here. Now, what makes this video different, I guess, from other people's or whatever it might be, is the fact that I try to make it as versatile as possible. So you guys can switch anything you guys want. If you don't like a certain attachment or, you know, grip, go ahead and change it. It's not something that you have to have. It's just kind of what I like, you know. So what makes this so versatile is, again, you can swap any of the 3 rages in one of the sockets and it can just change the entire way that you're playing the game. Also, if you guys don't like the amulets that I have equipped, you can change a few. Now, I do think that there are must-haves, you know, in this game. You have to have certain things equipped for it to be somewhat effective. But again, you guys have the freedom to just change anything that you guys want. For example, right now I am using the Fury Rage. The clip after this will then be the Wrath Rage, and then after those 2 will be the Valor Rage. Because the whole thing that I'm trying to showcase is doesn't matter what rage you use. Now, they all offer something different, so of course they're going to be different circumstances on how you use them, but at the end of the day, all of them can be super amazing. As you can see, the Fury has a whole lot of survivability, just 3 minutes of me going on this endless onslaught. But going over the Wraith Rage, I think a lot of people might overlook this, and especially the amulet that I have equipped with it, because the way I look at it is it does a whole lot of burst damage. Yes, you kind of need a setup in the sense that an enemy has to be status inflicted to get that burst damage off, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get the most out of this rage than all the other ones because you have the 4 activations and you can activate it whenever you want. It's basically a get out of jail free card. Now, the reason I think this rage is going to give you the most out of it is because of the amount of damage you're able to do with just 1 bar of rage, and then you're also going to get other bars filled up before you empty all 4 of them. Again, the con to it is you kind of have to pay attention. You know, it's not one of those things where you can just do whatever you want and have it be super efficient, but I'm sure you guys will be able to make it work. Now we're going to go over the Valor Rage, something I don't really see too many people using unless they're just trying to absolutely decimate a boss, and that's fair. But I don't like just one-shotting, two-shotting bosses. I like to, you know, dance around them, use my combos, and you know, have fun with that. But as you guys can see, same concept here pretty much. You just wait to get hit by an attack, you activate your rage, you get that huge buff, and then you guys can just swing away. Now, this has very, very good survivability, and it has great damage output. The con to it is timing your rage. So that's pretty much it. That's the only downside to this is you have to wait for an enemy attack, but you time that perfectly, you're going to get so much damage back that you're just going to eviscerate whatever's in front of you. Again, it doesn't matter what rage you're using, it does matter on how you're using it. Now, I do recommend everybody try all 3 of them out to just, you know, find out what suits you more. Switch them, have fun with it. You could just use one for 24/7. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to bring some variety when it comes to this game. I see armor builds, I only see how to make things super overpowered, you know, and that's fair. It is a God of War game. I am trying to be overpowered, but I'm trying to mix my skill along with my passion for the game and with the combat, you know, so I don't want to just go in there one-shotting absolutely everything and then wait for all my cooldowns to come back up to one-shot another enemy. Like, as cool as that can be, I'm trying to sit here and enjoy the game as a whole. But right now we are looking at how I am making this build with just the amulets. As you guys can see, you could sub out any of those rages depending on what rage you want to use, and then pretty much keep everything else the same. Now, if you don't want to use these bottom two, I recommend changing the one that you're looking at right now, because you get a blessing of Runic anytime that you activate your Flame Whiplash or your Frost Awaken. So you hold triangle with your axe, you get that huge amount of frozen damage off, right? And then you're also going to do more damage based off of the other amulets. All of it works together. It combines to just form this really, really good, efficient rage build. Anyway, here we are talking about the bonus armor, and as you guys can see, it is just the Ares armor. Now, there are specific things you might need, whether it's vitality, luck, runic, or cooldown, depending on what you're trying to build for. But what I was going for was a high luck and high-ish vitality. I needed enough vitality for the Fatebreaker engraving, and then I needed Lunda's engraving, which requires 400 luck. And as you guys can see, I built around it pretty well. Now, again, you guys can switch it to whatever you want and try to make it work. I look at this as the best all-around armor that, not in the game, but basically for me, because you can just go from one enemy to the next without, again, having to worry about a setup. You can use anything at any time and it be really efficient. You can activate, deactivate your rage. You can use your runic attacks. You can freeze and burn enemies to do increased damage. You see, like, all of it is very good. And then, yes, you can combine all of that to do a crazy amount of damage all at one time. Anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. I really hope that you guys try out the rage build. I'm telling you, it is very, very fun to just go around getting all these animations and executions. Anyways, I love y'all. I hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.